Today we're announcing confirmation that our 11-year-old male adult tiger, Malayan tiger, Bashir, has been confirmed as having SARS-CoV-2, which is the virus that causes the COVID-19 disease in humans. The other two cats, Arya, our 6-year-old female, and Tanvir, our 11-year-old male, are presumed positive as we await confirmatory tests with them. Arya, our 6-year-old female, and Tanvir, our 11-year-old male, along with Bashir, all exhibited very mild symptoms that included coughing, lethargy, loss of appetite. When they were exhibiting symptoms, they began a quarantine and have been in quarantine since that time, and they have all been symptom-free now for several days. We are working with the Department of Health, the Knox County Department of Health, the Tennessee State Department of Health to try to pinpoint how the tigers caught the disease, but at this time we are presuming that they caught the disease from an asymptomatic keeper or staff member. Our staff have been wearing personal protective gear since before the pandemic as standard practice. That has been enhanced since the pandemic occurred, especially learning what we learned from the Bronx Zoo tigers. And our tigers are exhibiting very comparable symptoms, very mild symptoms. All of the Bronx Zoo cats recovered. Our cats appear to have fully recovered. You know, based on the information that we have to date, the likelihood of an animal, particularly tigers, passing the disease to a human is very, very low. For one, our tigers are now symptom-free. They're still in quarantine. None of our other animals are exhibiting symptoms, and all of our exhibits are designed with safety in mind. They're all in excess of 6 feet or greater. It is a big viewing distance or through glass that you view most of our animals, and so that barrier is there for two reasons, to keep you safe and to keep the animals safe. Our staff have been extremely safe during the pandemic and even before. We take safety very seriously here. Our staff that directly care for our animals have always worn personal protective gear, and especially after we learned what we learned from the Bronx Zoo when they first diagnosed big cats with the coronavirus back in early April. In addition, we're following all the guidelines recommended by the Centers for Disease Control as well as the Tennessee Pledge. So we do daily employee health screenings. We are very vigilant with that. Our staff take their responsibility as caregivers for these animals very seriously. We are working with critically endangered species. There are only less than 400 Malayan tigers in the wild. There's less than 60 or so in U.S. zoos. Each and every one is critically important. Our staff have understood the responsibility they have in caring for these animals throughout the pandemic, and so that has never wavered. You know, we are very fortunate to work with world-class veterinarians with the University of Tennessee College of Veterinary Medicine. They provide our veterinary care. We have been able to work with Dr. Marcy Souza, who is the public health veterinarian there at the school. In addition, we have worked with the Knox County Department of Health, the State Department of Health, the Centers for Disease Control, the National Science Veterinary Laboratory, all of these to help further advance the veterinary science and to learn all we can do about protecting tigers and saving tigers from these type of issues as they may arise in the future. It took a while from the time we suspected this till we were able to confirm it. We ran our tests initially through the Cummings Veterinary School at Tufts University, a research laboratory, but before it could be confirmed, it had to be run through the USDA's National Veterinary Services Laboratory. So we didn't receive that confirmation until late last night in Bashir, and those tests are still underway for Aria and Tanvir, but they are presumed positive. The good news is that the cats are feeling better. They are eager to get out of quarantine. Their risk to the public is low to nothing, and we really appreciate everyone's support.